What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about ANKR today. I actually don't know if it's Anchor or what it is. Let's actually look it up. This one comes to us at the request of Mr. Chocolate Cookie. Anchor Network. I'm gonna guess Anchor Network or Anchor something, right? Ranked 162. That's not bad. Whatever. Let's see. The market cap's 207 million. Trading volume, whatever, not too much. Let's see, max supply, total supply, circulating supply. I like this. I kind of like that just looking at that right there. But let's get into the TA of it right now. So this is the Coinbase chart against the USD, and as far as I can see, this is the most historical data we can find. There's a few other charts that look just like this, but I'm using Coinbase. From all-time low to the current all-time high, which we had a double top off, by the way. I would think that this wants to go lower. Looking at it from a fib perspective, I mean, you did find support on the 236, rejected the 69. You went above the 0.69. You had your double top, but you closed right at it. Then you found support again, and then you broke it. Right, found support on the 382, resisted the 236, broke through the 382, resisted the 236 again. I would think you'd want to go to the 618. The 618, that makes sense, or like even in the 0.69 area. Again, guys, it's very common to go, from the 618. I've seen it plenty of times. Everybody will talk about, oh, the 618 is very, that's the golden retracement, and it's the golden ratio. But oftentimes, like quite often, honestly, I don't know if it's the majority of times. Maybe it's like 50% of the time. I don't know. I should keep track of that stuff. But it's very often, or very common, I should say, to see price go below the 618, it wicks above it, and then it comes back up in that same day or same candle or whatever, and then it closes above the 618. So if we were to go below the 618, that's not a problem, is all I'm trying to say. And that gives us a range, at the moment, thinking about it, that gives us a range around like 44 cents, oh no, I'm sorry, 0.44 of a cent, or 0.66 of a cent. And that kind of goes well with like this wick here and the low closing period of this previous range that we had before we had our ascent to all-time highs. So I kind of like that as a bottom. I do, just looking at the price roughly right now, I would expect that we go lower. This does look kind of top-ish. It's working its way systematically to the downside in the fibs. This is just common fib behavior. Looking at it on the monthly, just from a price perspective point of view. Looking at the RSI, we are below the 50. RSI does look rather weak, I would say, on a monthly perspective. It doesn't, because it's on the monthly, I don't think it has to go into the oversold zone. It could, it very well could, but I don't think it has to. It did reject this 50 area, kind of, right? You kind of rejected the 50 area, and not, again, I mentioned this on the Bitcoin Cash chart yesterday, talking about the daily. The 50 area is generally where most charts respect in the RSI, most of the time. But if we put a line right here at this peak, you had support right here. You had support right here. I would say this line, this 48 level, is like the 50, if that makes sense. 48 to even like right here, where you got this resistance, support, somewhere in there. So I don't know if the 50 level itself is so respected on this. And I do think that this rejection would imply that we go lower than this low. And then the rejection off the 236 again. Normally, when you see a double rejection off the 236, normally, it's not guaranteed, but normally you do see that 618 come into play. It's just something that happens. So, 1 second. No, we're good. Okay, so let's just dive into closer looking time frames. Let's go to the weekly here. Looking at the weekly, we rejected this purple line twice, right? We kind of had another double top, but like right off the purple line area. I do think that we go lower. It does look like we want to go lower. We're below the 50. Okay, yeah, that's fair. We have a higher low at the moment. We couldn't close above this engulfing candle, and we kind of look like we want to. We kind of look like we're winding up for it. I don't know. RSI doesn't look half bad, to be fair. It doesn't look completely bad. On the weekly, you are below the 50. You are at a point where you could reject, and it would not look good if you did reject this area. You are printing hidden bearish divergence at the moment. I guess technically at the moment, I guess not, but kind of, but not really. I guess technically no. It says technical analysis. Let's be technical, so no. If we go, let's see, from this low to this high, just to get a more relative fib. All right. Yeah, man. Look at this. So this is classic. Let's do a little tutorial in fib behavior here. I've talked about this before, but just, and this is not a guarantee. right? This is something to watch out for. It's something to kind of expect when you see this behavior happen, but it's not something that always happens. Okay, it doesn't have to always happen this way. Nothing in technical analysis is like rubbing a crystal ball, like I see the future. No, it's like I'm looking into the past is really what it is, and I'm comparing it to what I've seen in the past. You know what I mean? And what I have seen personally, and what I know about fibs, is if you find support on the 618 and you find support on it again, it becomes increasingly less likely. Like if you break it on the first pass, these extensions become likely. But if you fail to break it on the first pass, what you would more likely see is a bounce off of the 786 or the 886 area, and that's exactly what we got. However you want to cut it, we had a little wick on the 886. We closed right at the 786. So either way, we kind of found support on both of those lines, which is very classic fib behavior. We did get back above the 618, which is good. Finding resistance on the 0.5 is not good. We're kind of disrespecting the 618. And when I see that now, that does make me think that these extensions are at play. Generally, whenever you start to disrespect the 618, those extensions kind of do become more likely again. But again, this right here should have been a clear indication that we would find support down here. It doesn't mean that we can't go here inevitably, but it really ups the chances that this could be a low point where we do reverse, or a low point where maybe we bounce for a second and then we continue lower. And then again, actually the fibs for that, if we were to see extensions, I would expect that we go to the 1618 right there. That's at the 0.006. I forget that major fib that I was looking at, the 618. Yeah, the major fib from all-time low to all-time high. The 618 itself is at 0.0066. So this actually fits in that range right between the 618 and the 0.69 level I was originally talking about. This 1618 could very well happen, actually. I wonder if we get this from bottom to high. Does anything line up? 2272 right at the 1414. I don't know, man. I do think it goes lower. I do definitely think it goes lower. But looking at, let's just keep zooming in here. Let's look at the daily time frame, because right now you had a point where you would reject. Sure, you didn't break above this. This doesn't look good. You are at previous areas of resistance, and you are potentially rejecting this area. But you haven't rejected it. You are climbing. You do have an ascending kind of like triangle forming, so it doesn't look half bad from a price perspective. From a fib perspective, I don't like it as much. But let's look at the daily. And again, on the RSI, even the weekly RSI. Oops, let's see. Weekly RSI doesn't look half bad. You'd probably want to get above the 50 here. That's all I got to say about that. You'd want to get above the 50 and not do what it did the last, like these two times here. You'd want to get above the 50 and have a move like this, you know what I mean? Or a move that's more like this, or like this one, you know what I mean? You don't want to get up, and I mean, I guess that's okay. Doing something like that would be okay, but you really don't want to see something like these, like those two moves. I know I'm drawing a lot of circles here, but just bear with me, guys. So we're looking at the daily now. Looking at the daily. By the way, this thing has a $207 million market cap. If this thing wanted to 100x, that would put it at a $20 billion market cap, right? That's achievable in crypto. This is a 100xable coin. I don't know too much about it. I don't know if it's a legitimate like development team behind it or whatever, but this thing has. I'm not saying that it will go 100x. I'm just saying of coins that could like Bitcoin's not going to 100x in this coming bull market. By the time it reaches its all-time highs, it's going to be at a $1 trillion market cap. It's not going to 100x, guys. Okay, it can still have like a 10x. It can do fantastic things. Don't get me wrong. A 2x from a $1 trillion. I guess it would be a 2x from the top, going to like multiple trillions. That's an achievement in itself. But Bitcoin isn't going to 100x, guys. That's not going to happen in one bull market. This has the potential to with its market cap, because again, a $20 billion market cap, while that is high in crypto, that's totally achievable. But beyond that, just random speculation. Looking at the RSI on the daily, this is where things are looking good, guys. Actually, this is where things are looking good. Yeah, you've got you came down and you went below the 50, but rejected it. You came down, you went below the 50, rejected it, and you went higher than the last one. This is looking good. This actually does look good in the shorter term, which is good. If things start to look good in the short term, it can turn around the weekly and the monthly, the longer term stuff. But let's look at the price itself now. We are below the purple line. We are below the 50 on the 123 RSI. Getting higher strides here too. You're in a nice like little upward formation, so I do like the way that looks. But if the daily was to get above the purple line, I'm sure like maybe with the way it looks, actually, it would probably have a good move up, and then it would probably come back down. You would find support on the purple line, and then you would probably at that point in time break above the 50 on your daily or something like that. And I mean, maybe it doesn't go all the way up here. Maybe it only goes like to where this previous low was. But let's kind of give it a finer tune of a look here. Very indecisive. I'd say you're indecisive at the top, but not really, right? If you saw this kind of behavior over here, this would be more indicative that you're going to go down, but this doesn't necessarily mean that. You're at a point where you found resistance before and you haven't broken down like you have the past couple times. I'm almost inclined to say this looks bullish, but technically you did just have a bearish engulfing candle, so I guess the ball is in the bear's court at the moment. Lower highs, you got higher lows. RSI looks pretty decent. I gotta say, the RSI does look pretty decent. Let's see. Let's do some fib stuff here. Let's go again on the daily. Bounced off the 618. Held the 618, man, and you're looking like you want to get above. You're disrespecting the 236. You held the 0.5. You're stair-stepping your way up. Maybe you come down to the 382. Maybe this thing doesn't want to go lower. Maybe maybe it doesn't. Maybe it wants to go, or maybe it wants to go higher first before it goes lower. I don't know. But with the way that the market is, man, if this thing goes higher, it might not go lower after all. I don't know. Let's see. If you were to go higher from here, the area that I would look for is 3.2 cents to 3.6 cents. And that would be in the more immediate term. Maybe that is an overall lower high, and then you get those lower numbers that I was talking about earlier. Maybe you don't get those lower numbers after all. I really don't know. What would solidify more so that you won't go down below a cent there, below 0.7 cents even, to those original numbers I was talking about, around like 0.0066. What would prevent you from doing that really would be breaking out of this range bullishly. If you can break out of this range bullishly, you're gonna, on the weekly, you're gonna get above the 50 here. You're gonna have a bullish break in itself. And then, from there, you would want to get above these highs, which once, twice, a third time, I would think that you might actually be getting above these highs here. So it's hard to say. It's really hard to say, honestly. Where would this thing go ultimately? Like whenever it does go higher, right? Like where could it go ultimately? If we go from this high here to this low, if this is the low, if that's the low for this cycle, okay? And by the way, actually measuring from this fib, you're holding support on the 0.069. It's not a bad look. It's not a bad look, not gonna lie. It's not like the greatest look, but hey, there's hope. You know what I mean? There's definitely hope. You have a higher low, and off of a double top, you might be ascending up to this. This could be good. And I guess, I kind of missed this, but you did find support off of this previous area of resistance back here. You found support on previous areas of resistance. That's always good to see. A little bit of volume came in, not a whole lot, but that's a lot of volume. Not as much as we saw at the all-time highs, but whatever. That's a lot of volume for what this chart presents. I would say that this thing looks not totally bad from this kind of perspective, honestly. And if it was to go to new all-time highs, where it would likely go from here, at least in my opinion, I would think that we'd go to like 45 cents, maybe $1.15. It is worth 2.5 cents right now, so I do think that's totally in the cards. It could go higher. It really could go higher because again, 100x I think is at play if that from the current price. So 100x would put us at 9,900% because you already have 100%, right? So 9,009. That'd put you at the 1886, the top of this extension zone. And you could go higher than that even. So, prices above $1, prices above $2, that's totally possible. I don't know so much about prices above, like at the 2272, that actually might not happen so much. But these prices are totally possible. And then, if we do, you would really want to see us go lower. You really would, because if this thing does, in fact, break its all-time high inevitably, and we do go lower, then that just makes this... that makes those lines go up dramatically more, right? Now at the 1618, you're having a 500x. At the 1272, you're having an above a 100x. So that that, you know, that would be fantastic. Maybe you don't go as high from this kind of format, you know, maybe you don't go up to the 1886 like I was projecting last time, but you still have this $2, and I guess, you know, at a 60-cent level even, that's still possible. 60 cents to $2 is totally possible, and that's a big range, but 100x wouldn't even, from if we were to go lower, let's say we were to go to like the bottom of this range, right? Maybe not even the bottom, right? I was saying around like the 0.66, where would that be? Like right around there. So if we were to go around there, 100x from there would put you above the 1272. So that is totally achievable. But if, I don't know, man, you might actually go to the 1618, and that would be a 300 and something x. So there is potential in this thing, and there's even more potential in it if it goes lower. Maybe not more potential as far as like overall highs in price, but more potential in the amount you could gain. Because, you know, you could buy it lower. If it moves to these same areas, you buy it lower, you're going to get more gains. And, you know, from a pre-fib drawn area, your 618 is kind of right here. That kind of looks good, but it doesn't have to. You know, I'm just cherry picking. That's not a good way to base your predictions off of. But you know, originally I did draw it down there based off of these lows here, and from the original fibs I drew. So I know that might seem confusing, guys. I know I might be confusing there. I guess I don't really know what to make of this thing, man. If it is to prove me wrong, I suppose my general bias is that it goes down. But there's hope, man. There really is hope for this thing. And what would be the first step in kind of solidifying that? Get out of this range. Get out of it. Break above here. Have a day that closes above this daily closing high. Get higher highs. Do stuff like that, which would be at 27 cents. Close a day above 27 cents. And if you did that, you would probably actually shoot above this purple line. Do all those things, and I will take back the original statements that I was making that this thing's going to go lower. Truthfully. Because it doesn't look half bad, you know, and I really, honestly, truthfully, I just don't know what to make of it. There are bearish things in the monthly and the weekly, and generally the monthly and the weekly do overtake, but the daily is nothing to be messed around with, man. It's nothing to take lightly, and from a daily perspective, it does look bullish. And just with the overall condition of the market right now, if this thing was to pump on the daily, I don't think that you're going to go lower than this low. I really don't. That would surprise me, actually. So I guess to validate the bull case, again, break above 27 cents, really technically actually have a daily close above 27 cents. And to validate the bearish case, I guess you'd want to break out of this ascending range that you have, you know, so you don't have to go too much lower. Get below 25 cents on a daily close. Maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's more like this, actually. Get below 24 cents, something like that, on a daily close. Get the RSI out of these stronger areas, get back below the 50, stuff like that, you know. So hard to say. It's at a critical point for sure, definitely at a critical point. If I was looking to long-term buy it right now, this would be a hard decision, because you could buy it here and it could pay off well, or you could buy it here and it shits the bed. It's really hard to say. It's easy to say wait for it to go lower, but you have a lot of conflicting things going on in this chart. So, I mean, I don't know too much. I don't know what to make of that. I'd flip a coin, man, and be like, all right, cool. Like I really don't know. Ultimately, guys, I do think if this thing is a legitimate project, if it doesn't have any failures, and it is a serious or at least somewhat of a serious contender in the next bull market, all-time highs between 60 cents and $2, like above $2 even, that's totally achievable. And from the current price, you know, going above $2, I guess technically going to $2.50 would be 100x from here, and that's still achievable. But that I don't know. I would think, man, I would think that we do want to go lower, but I honestly don't know. I really don't know. So before I just keep saying the same stuff over and over again, I guess I'm going to end it there. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. I'm sorry that I'm not more decisive on this thing, but it's kind of indecisive. I mean, look at the daily, man. It's been indecisive, right? It doesn't know what to do with itself. So I don't really know what to do with it. Let's look at the 4-hour, I guess, before we go. You have hidden bullish divergence. You have a lower low here, and you have a higher low in price. It's not confirmed bullish divergence yet. This could turn out to be bearish convergence if it goes down. again, I would think getting below 24 cents on a 4-hour on a daily basis, closing below there would be indicative that you probably will go to the lower prices that I was looking at. But if you could close above 27 cents, which that's kind of, that's an even split from here. So close below 24, bad. Close above 27, good. Or even at 27. That's my genuine opinion on it. And yeah, if you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.